Thank you.
Thanks, Al. If I may, though, sorry for the background noise. If I may just add to that prayer briefly, if y'all could please raise up Jackie Martin, the state director of Arkansas, in prayer. She was with us over the weekend in Nashville for the Past States Regional Summit. And unfortunately, even though she had a wonderful time over the weekend, sometimes the lows come a lot faster after the highs. And she returned home to find out that her brother had been beaten severely in his home. And she got to the hospital this morning around 2:30 in the morning, and he was bruised over every inch of his body, cuts everywhere. And he unfortunately succumbed to his wounds and passed away. Leaves behind a 21-year-old daughter who actually lives in San Antonio and was flying there to try to get there before he died. And she was on the plane and didn't know that he had passed away. And when I spoke with Jackie a few hours ago, that's where she was in the airport waiting for her niece. So if you could just please keep her in your thoughts and prayers, that entire family, and pray that the perpetrators are brought to justice. I'd greatly appreciate that. So So moving on, just to give the national update, as you know, the same kind of stuff that we've been talking about the last few weeks continue. Biblical citizenship started up again last night. So if you missed out the first go around, that is there and available for you to join again and to register and check out the course with Mark Meckler and Rick Green helping lead the way. So check that out. Also, another reminder, front site, we're heading back out there in Nevada for the constitutional defense course with Rick Green. That's going to be November 4th through the 8th. Actually, the agenda says the 6th. I'm going to change that. So it's November 4th through the 8th. And, you know, I believe registration ends in October. So definitely check that out and register if you haven't done so. It's a great opportunity to get out there and not only learn some firearm training, but also get that constitutional training at night with Rick Green. And the best thing about this one in particular is that Convention of States is going to be there. Mark's already confirmed to be there, and we've got leaders from across the country that we're trying to get there. So definitely check that out. In fact, Mr. Al Torres is going to be there as well. So another big reason for you to be out there. Also, the big news of the week, tomorrow night, the next COS at home, and it's going to be with Senator Rick Santorum, the new COS senior advisor. So I hope that you'll join us for that conversation. It's going to be Rick's first big public appearance with Convention of States. So I'm really looking forward to sitting down with him. I hope you'll join me. That's going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. So please check that out if you get the chance. Also on Thursday, we're going to have our next COS at home for the legislators. And Rick Green is going to be the guest for that one. An email was sent out, I believe, today, reminding all of the legislators to join for that. There's still some that are registering. I have to check to see what the recent numbers are at, but we're starting to see some more legislators and their assistants still register for this. So definitely make sure you're reaching out to your legislators to remind them about that. Although your legislators might be a little bit busy, right? So perhaps they won't be able to, but if they register, they'll have access to the recording after that. I see a couple of hands here, so I guess I'll start with Jamie. You want to jump in here?
Yeah, could you let everybody know, like, I guess where to find the link or how to do that COS at home? Maybe remind everybody how to do that.
The one for Senator Santorum, we're going to
Correct.
send that out tomorrow so everybody gets it. An email went out, I think, just a few hours ago. And there's going to be another one. Actually, no, I think that email went out to people in the social media warriors, but there's going to be another email going out tomorrow, and then I'm going to be posting it in Slack tomorrow in the general channel, either myself or Susan Ziegler. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Mike, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, is there any way to find out which of our Texas legislators have attended these in the past?
Yes, there is. I have to check to see. I'm not sure the spreadsheet has been updated lately. So I'll find that out and get that back to you.
Appreciate it.
Joanne, the only one that I know of for sure that has pretty consistently attended has been Donna Campbell's office, not Donna Campbell herself, but Kelly out of her office. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And it looks like that number has gone up now. I think we've got somewhere around 200 legislators that have registered for the webinar, which is great. You know, I mean, just a few weeks ago, we were at 180. So now we're at 200. So each time we send out that reminder, more and more legislators are registering. So yeah, just if you want to reach out to your legislators or speak to their aides and ask them to register. I know there's a lot going on right now in Texas, but still a great opportunity for them to be connected and get those recordings. Other than that, you know, there are a couple other things that are on the agenda, but the things that, well, tonight we've got our usual call for the district captains, volunteers, grassroots training at 8 o'clock Central. That's really it for me. As far as North Carolina goes, y'all have been doing a great job with those phone calls. We're continuing to make those calls, but I think I overheard a conversation over the weekend that Mark said we're considering, I don't think we've done this yet, but we're considering a pause in the phone calls to kind of give the senators a bit of a break from all of the phone calls that have been made so far. I have not heard one way or another just yet on that, so I will keep you posted. But if you've been making calls, please continue to make those calls. Edna, you have your hand raised?
Yes, just a clarification. So our legislators, besides our legislators, can our legislators staff go and watch the or be in on the Zoom thing that we're doing with our legislators, with the speakers? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we
Can't
typically
recall the
would
name.
like the legislators to be on, but it's been fine for staff to either appear or register on behalf of the legislator. That's not a problem.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because I did not know that. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jamie, I see you have your hand raised.
Do you know when they are supposed to be done for the summer? Isn't it kind of coming up soon?
Yes. So
North
there's,
Carolina?
oh, I'm sorry, North Carolina. I thought we were talking about the summer series. North Carolina, I believe the rumor was that session was going to end around Labor Day. So that would be next week. So we need to see some action soon and fast. So if nothing else, definitely keep them in your prayers. Thank you for asking. The only other thing that I just wanted to note, and then I'll turn it over to you, Al, is we had a wonderful meeting in Nashville over the weekend. I had the leaders from the past states join us. Al was there, Jamie, Mike, and Erica representing Texas, as well as Joanne representing Texas. So Texas was very, very well represented. But the big news that I wanted to share to all of you was we had an opportunity to honor Al. He had previously received the Patriot pin, but hadn't gotten his certificate. So we were able to give him his certificate there. And then Jamie, Erica, and Mike were all honored by being given the Convention of States Challenge coin. This is my coin that I was awarded a few years ago. This is the highest honor that we can give to the volunteers. Only 300 challenge coins were minted. The mold was broken after that. On the front, as you saw, was our old Convention of States logo. On the back is an image of George Mason. And the certificates that are also given were signed by both Mark Meckler and the other co-founder, Michael Farris, who has moved on to be the lead counsel and president of Alliance Defending Freedom. So really big deal. And I thought the three leaders, Jamie, Erica, and Mike, all of the hard work that they have done helping you in Texas and really leading the way from the grassroots. Now Erica as a state director, Mike with the legislative side. They represent Texas incredibly, incredibly well. They've done an amazing job helping all of you. When I hear from some of you and I listen to how you, oh, you know, I heard from Erica, oh, I heard from Jamie, you know, and it's obvious to me the impact that they have had on this team, and we thought that they were very deserving of receiving this award. So I was really glad to be able to do that, and I just wanted to share that with everyone. Shelby, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. I see your hand is raised.
Yes, sir. I just want to congratulate Mike, Erica, and Jamie. Well done. I'm so proud.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So that's really it for me. Al, I will turn it back over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You mentioned that we had a good meeting there in Tennessee, and that was fabulous. I actually had a bonus in that my granddaughter just started college, the freshman year, and she had just been dropped off to go to attend school. So I was able to see her the first night that we were there in Tennessee. So that was a little bonus for me. What I'd like to do real quick, if you don't mind, each one of the here, Jamie, Mike, if you'd like to just give a quick summary of the things that you brought up and discussed there, that would be great. Just a short summary of what you discussed here at the summit. You go first, Mike.
All right, thanks, Al. I wanted to make sure I had some conversations with both Missouri and Oklahoma, just get some kind of see what they did as far as the sunsets, and that's my next biggest challenge is getting rid of the sunset. So Oklahoma, well, they kind of cheated. They had a celebrity that they kind of milked off of, and very deservingly so. So hey, kudos to them. Politics is all about taking advantage of opportunities, and they had a very good reason to be using that, and so I don't fault them for it all. But of course, I don't think we're going to be able to replicate Senator Colburn's legacy to that for us, so that's not going to help us in that part. And for Missouri, they pretty much repassed the resolution just minus a sunset clause. So that's an option. We'll kind of take our cues from our sponsor on how to do it, but my thought is probably they're going to go after the actual sunset resolution itself and either modify it or kill it completely. But we'll leave that strategy in the hands of our sponsor, which way he wants to go with that. So that was the big thing I wanted to get out of it, and I had some of those conversations. But all in all, it was a good relation time to meet some of the other leaders and kind of share our experiences and learn some tips and tricks from others. And while I don't have my coin on me, as with my coin collection at work, here's the pin I get to wear. Says that I got my coin. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll come back to you for the legislative update here. Joanne, you were up. I think you're in there, aren't you? I saw you over there.
Yeah, I am here.
You want to give what you ran by over there about your operation
I'm going
equipment?
to turn off my camera because the sun's coming in and it's just blind. Okay. I had the privilege to not only represent the Texas team, but also be part of the national team. I got to talk a little bit about Operation Equip. Of course, and be part of a panel for grassroots, which was really fun, interesting to hear what is going across, what different states are doing. The best part for me is always meeting our fellow patriots at these events. People that I've either talked to on the phone or been on a Zoom call with. Finally, I'm talking to a flesh and blood person, and we are sitting down and we are having a meal together and just fellowshipping. And I'm telling you, there is no substitute for that, Al. And I absolutely loved it. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was something nice to be able to see that there people actually have more than just the little thing you see in the box up here. They have legs and a whole body and everything. It's kind of neat to see. Jamie, did you want to give any words there?
You're muted, Jamie.
Jamie, you're muted.
Sorry, I was busy muting everybody else, so I just left myself on mute. But yeah, I would just echo, what everyone else has said. It was just so awesome to, put names and faces together and rub shoulders with some like-minded patriots. And I'm really, really looking forward to that experience with hopefully most of you, not this weekend, but next, as we kind of get to do that same thing here in Texas. I just think, being able to associate with one another and feed off of that energy and associate with like-minded patriots is just so, it's so energizing. Everybody needs their cup filled, and mine was running a little low. So it was really good to get it filled up again and to get some good ideas from other grassroots coordinators about how to kind of organize and galvanize the team. And so hopefully we'll be sharing a lot of those ideas going forward. Carol Aldridge asked me to share with our team some information on our events and whatnot. So would you like me to share that now or later in this meeting? And
You have the floor. Go ahead.
okay, well, in Texas, you guys have been awesome. We've probably been at more events in the last 6 months than we have in the last 3 or 4 years. Part of that's COVID, I know, but we have just been going gangbusters this year, and that's great. We'll talk about this in our Operation Equip class, which I'll put a little plug in here for. We're going to do that Thursday nights at 7. I'll try and post the recording in call recordings as well as Operation Equip, but I'd love to have you join us there. But a new state team manual, if you guys know where to find the state team manuals, they're in Texas Leaders Resources or at the end of the Roundup weekly email that you get on Friday. All those links at the end of that email, you can find the state team manuals. There's a new one for presenting at events, and it has a checklist that you can go through, as well as an after event form that they'd like you to fill out. And we can talk more about it at a future session, but I just want you guys to be aware that there's kind of some help so that we going forward, we have access to all the resources we need, and you guys get your permission into the event approval people in time to get it paid for and things like that. So we'll, like I said, we'll talk more about that Operation Equip and more maybe on another Monday night meeting. But also, Al, are we going to introduce our new state communications coordinator?
Yep, I'm going to do that. It's right here on my little list.
There you go. Well, I'll turn it
there-
back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing on those on the manuals down there is that they're updated a lot more frequently. And at the bottom, you'll see that on the manuals themselves, there's a little date on there that says when it was last updated. So go down every month, every week when it comes out, just double check them again and see if there's any updates to them. Before I introduce, Shelby, your hand's up. Did you have a question or something you want to say?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just never put it down, I guess.
Okay, good to
Can
see
I
you,
butt
sir.
in for just a second, Al, too?
Sure.
If it's been a while since you've looked at your role manual, i.e. district captains and regional captains, take a peek of that every once in a while and make sure you're doing what you need to be doing. And if there's something that, you have a question on or need some help with, we'd like to get you that help. So take a look at your manual every once in a while too.
Thank you. All right, so yes, I wanted to introduce and welcome our new state communications coordinator, Rose Brand. Rose is not afraid to take the mic and go for it. So Rose, introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background and what your expectations are.
Well, I'm currently organizing as much or facilitating as much as I can for the events that we're going to. And my background is in marketing and graphic design. I accepted the position because I felt that there was an opportunity to create a little more structure and support for not just events, but to really be that advocate for the Cos mission and purpose. So I have already projects on instructional videos. I already have projects and trying to do, in fact, right now I'm currently working on a project where all of you could really help me out. I want to do a video. I'm currently working on it and producing it. I need everyone who is willing to just say thank you to our troops. I'm going to be doing a video thanking our vets, our troops, and the families who have had relatives who paid the ultimate sacrifice. And I really want to produce it this week because it's poignant this week. We need to let everyone know that we back our troops. We support them and families. We are here for you. We will be a voice if you need us to be. And tie it in, of course, to our purpose at Convention of States. But it really is all about just saying thank you. So if you can just say a video, take your smartphone, record yourself. I'd like it in landscape. Landscape means long ways, not up and down this way, but this way. Record yourself saying thank you. And if you do add a little more, just maybe 1 or 2 additional words. But if you could say thank you on video and then alert me that you've done this, I will send you a link to my Dropbox and invite you to upload to Dropbox. And I will be tying all of those videos in. I'm literally going to be splicing you all in near the end, and finally closing with from all of us at Texas Convention of States, thank you. And I'll be putting that out hopefully Saturday or sooner, as soon as I can get it all done. I've got the music already. I've got the script all set. I've already started recording my own parts. So I need y'all. So send them over. And you can reach me on Slack, or you can get me at rosa.brand@cosaction.com. So
Great, thank you.
Al, can I jump in here real quick? I have a question for Rosa. Rosa, do you want to kind of set some guidelines for the individual videos, like starting with our name, our position, maybe where we're from? Are there any guidelines you want us to do?
For the video, for the thank you, it's just
Yeah.
simply saying thank you. That's it.
That's
And
it.
if, I mean, at the end, I will be doing credits, so I will be adding your name. But no, for right now, it's just say thank you, because it's really not about us. It's about them.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
So, and just always bear in mind, in fact, I'm taking a class right now from Duarte. Duarte is a organization that a lot of liberals, in fact, I had one who was using pronouns on the liberal side, where they teach people how to give speeches and do visual storytelling. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about telling a story. And the one thing you always want to keep in mind is your speeches, your presentations, you always have to keep the audience. They're the heroes. The audience is what you need to focus on. So I'll ask you, as you do your speeches and so on, if you need any help. I will not criticize you. I've been doing Toastmasters for years. I know how to give criticism. If I do give you criticism, it's not going to be criticism. It's more like, try this, and hopefully that'll help you feel more comfortable and possibly even improve on what you do, because you guys are fantastic. I'm positive I won't have to worry about it.
Thank you, Rosa. I appreciate that. And also, I'd like to invite you to our COS Toastmasters group.
I'd love it. Just hit me
I'll
up
reach out to
afterwards.
you later.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Everybody's going to have to get used to this, because we're going to start using Rose a lot to help us get a little more visual, a little more proactive as far as updating the way we get our messaging out and reaching everybody out there, especially as we get in line with what we're doing here. And she's teaming up with our new state videographer, David Follert is how I'm going to pronounce it. I'm not quite sure exactly how it's one of those last names that starts with a PH. So we've got it there. And I don't see him online with us tonight yet, but the two of them are just fabulous. Actually, it takes your breath away when you listen to them all the time. And we actually plan on having a brainstorming session with them to figure out how to best use the talents to get information on them and what they believe we should be doing. So you'll probably get a lot more requests like this, to be getting little video snippets and everything else, so we can start reaching out and putting a little bit more oomph to what we're doing here, other than just emails and blasts and stuff like that. So thank you for joining
I'm-
us. Appreciate it.
I'm here, Al. I'm just on a
Oh.
secure computer with no camera on it, so I'm just kind of listening at the moment. I have other work going on in the background.
Well, do you have a minute to introduce yourself and say a few words?
Yes. All
Okay.
right. Hello. Sorry. Hello, everybody. I'm David Fahlert, owner of Silent Stream Media. I just joined COS over the last couple weeks. Went through the entire COS University program. My background is in video marketing, commercial video production, and live broadcast. I have just been keeping myself busy with work over the past 20 years and just kind of watching the demise of our country happening. I wanted to figure out how to get involved, and I figured instead of creating a new wheel and trying to reinvent it, I thought getting involved with COS was probably my best route to use my skill set. So I'm excited to meet everyone and work with everyone here in the future, and I appreciate y'all having me.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. We're certainly happy to have you on board. It should be pretty dynamic having these two talented people helping us now create messaging for us that'll really be impactful for what we're doing out here. Jamie, you have your hands up.
Yeah, thank you, Rosa and David. So super excited to have some really great folks in these roles. Rosa, and I don't know, maybe you did say, but could you possibly post again, maybe in the general Slack channel for everybody, exactly what you want so we can comply and get those videos where we need to be, landscape mode, just say thank you, 2 seconds, and then where you want people to put them for you?
Why aren't they lifting restrictions?
You're muted, Rosa.
Yeah, sorry, it just off. Yeah, I don't know why my video is turning off, but yeah, absolutely. I will be sure to put all of the details in Slack so that you guys will know.
Let's put them in the general channel so people know
Oh,
where to
okay,
look.
you got it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And okay, I'm not muted. Okay, so we've got a brand new team on here that's really going to move us forward on a lot of things. We're excited to have them here. And like I said, we'll be having a brainstorming session with them pretty soon to figure out exactly how we're going to use their talents and move everything forward. So we're really excited about that. We are going to, as you already know, as Jamie mentioned, we have our, excuse me, our RCDC summit coming up on the weekend of the 10th, the 11th in Austin. So if you're planning on coming, if you haven't signed up yet, please make sure you do. We're going to be able to cover a lot of things that not only came out of our meeting, our summit up there with the regional captains, but also from our summit in Tennessee that we just recently had. So there'll be a lot of information, and we'll be sharing things about how we plan on going forward in 2022, working on the sunset clause and how we're going to approach that. Mike is going to have a lot of information for us to use on that. Everybody will have some information to share. And I think we're looking forward to having a very good outcome on that. And like Joanne said earlier, camaraderie, getting together and actually getting recharged, like we all said here, we kind of like really need that. With that note, though, let me just recover something we're going to talk a little bit about here later, and we need to stress, and we will later on. But looking at our figures on Citizen Builder and everything, we have 19 district captains who have been inactive for over 14 days, and there's more on there actually have been inactive for even a greater period than that. I'm going to work on consolidating and matching those up with regional captains and try to see what the issues are, is that we don't have some district captains that are engaged in and following through on what we need on our follow-up tool and everything else to reach out to everybody. And we talked about that a little bit in our offsite or our meeting in our summit in Tennessee, and what we can do to make sure we stay engaged and re-engage our district captains and everybody who's working in convention estates, because we realize that sometimes you have to reach out, people get busy or fall off the bandwagon, if you will, to stay involved in everything. But that's one of the reasons why we want to re-engage. It's very important that we do so here in Texas, particularly with what we have on the agenda, starting with that sunset clause that needs to be removed, and what we need to move forward with 2022, and engaging our citizens, and if nothing else, and being more involved in local government and everybody engaged from the bottom up. We need to make sure that we capture that and those priorities and make them happen. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add, Jamie? I'm reading through the rest of the agenda here as well.
Not so much. I mean, I guess if y'all had marching orders, A, get a thank you video to Rosa. She's going to post in the general COS channel. B, we need that RSVP. If you haven't, for some reason, gotten several email invitations, let me know, and I will make sure that somehow you didn't get overlooked. But if you think you're coming, we do need to sort of finalize some counts for food and which rooms we're using space-wise. So we really would like to know sooner rather than later that you're coming. And yeah.
I'm sorry, is this for Austin?
Correct. This is the summit meeting in Austin, September 10th and 11th. So if you can Slack me individually if you have questions or didn't get one, and I'll be happy to forward that to you. But please hit RSVP if you're planning on potentially attending that. And then finally, one last plug for Operation Equip, Thursday night at 7. I think some of you have had some emails. I'm trying to send out reminder emails. People have said they liked that, but that will be posted, the Zoom link on Thursday for 7 o'clock if you can make that. So three marching orders from me. Thanks.
Yeah, the email went out again today, I believe, about the invitation. Rooms are set up at the Hyatt downtown. I think it's $100, $109 a night. There's a code for the Convention of States. But if you haven't gotten it, yeah, reach out to us and let us know. We have the capacity for, I think, 130 people. I don't know what our number is right now, but we sure like to have everybody there who can be. Mike, do you want to, if you're still there, do you want to hit the legislative update now that we're just part of the agenda?
So yeah, nothing major. It's just there's a humongous election integrity bill that was passed both chambers of the Capitol. Nothing significant in that. So, no, all joking aside, so this is the power of the grassroots. The last 3 legislative sessions, we've been involved in some of the biggest legislation that's passed in the Texas legislature. And this one, I'd say there was 2 other big ones this session, the constitutional carry and the heartbeat bill. So, but they were also likewise covered by very large grassroots involvement. So if the last 3 sessions have proved everything, showing up matters. So there is hope for us, definitely next legislative session, because we have a big ask. May not have as many other groups working with us, because it's mostly ours and not just one that we're jumping in on, which makes our efforts that we're going to be doing next year that much important. So that's kind of the teaser into next week. So thank you for all of you and everything you've done to make this year successful. With integrity not officially done yet till the governor signs, but we've done everything we can do. We've got to pass the legislature. Thank you for all you've done.
Is it a good idea to send maybe a little thank you notes and everything to our individual legislators for their work on that?
Oh, most definitely. So, well, if they voted in favor of it, yeah.
Definitely, right? Cindy Phillips, I don't think she's on. I didn't see her here, but had something about the Capitol Brigade. Jamie, do you have any info on that?
Yeah, that's just a project that we're working on. Obviously, we're not, we're going to have another probably special session primarily involving redistricting. I don't know how much we're going to need to be down at the Capitol for that, but we'll be working on putting together a team, particularly of folks that live within an hour of the Capitol that can respond quickly to calls for an audience and testimony at committee meetings, as well as, potentially when legislation is on the floor. We want to be able to galvanize kind of a quick action force of a large list of folks that, live within an hour or two of the Capitol and have a little bit of a flexible schedule and can get down there quickly. So if you live far away, then you're probably off the hook for the Capitol Brigade. But if you're within 2 hours of Austin, we're probably going to be picking on you and making sure you're geared up and ready to be an option for us.
The other part of
This
that
is
is,
Steve Adnep. Wanted to say that I was at the Capitol today with a couple of people, and we watched the House pass election integrity. They passed the information that the Senate had sent them, and we were told it was going to the governor's office. So election integrity looks like it's passed and headed to the governor.
excellent. The other thing about that the brigade, we also are planning on hoping to start up something where we can invite people up to the Capitol just to take a tour, get comfortable with it, and know your way around. Might start over at the Texas Public Policy Foundation building to get a place to meet, tour that building to see what it's like, and then just walk over to the Capitol so everybody at least sees where knows where it's at, how to go in, see where the offices are, the main conference rooms where everybody does their testifying and everything else, just to get familiar with the location and tour it around. So you might see a couple of those where we pull together and say, everybody come on up and just take a tour, have lunch or something like that. We've already on the agenda here, we've already passed introducing our new state communications coordinator, but is there a follow-up on the, is there any update, excuse me, on the follow-up team, Darren or Cheryl?
I'm here. People are slacking and not doing their job. Sunday and I had not done it a couple of days, and I looked over the weekend and there was like 250 in there. And it was like, oh my gosh. And so I was able to get some of them down. If they're changing colors, we're doing them. So don't get your panties in an uproar if they get done, because we can't let them sit there that long. And people need to go in and check the in progress as well. And one thing I ask, if there is not a district captain in your region, if the regional captains will kind of keep an eye out for those as well, because I am trying to tag the regional captain to maybe reach out to those people in that area where there's no district captain. So that would help as well.
Okay. Yeah, we're working on getting all these little things ironed out to make it a smoother process, hopefully. Is Darren on tonight?
I am here.
Do you have anything, sir, even from the prayer warrior updates?
I'm just anxious to hear any discussions and feedback that you got from your summit, and then we'll probably try to have that conversation amongst ourselves and then try to start rolling some stuff out. I'd like to try to get our first big push sometime around a project for Thanksgiving specifically.
Absolutely. Let me put a little notes here. All right, I don't think I have much else right here. I tomorrow will be having a meeting at about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon with some folks up at the Texas Public Policy Foundation, coincidentally, and it's about I guess initial talks on strategy about the next big push I guess they want to handle, which didn't make it this time, was working on the taxpayer lobbyist. So I'll find out what the strategy is and working on that, and be able to report back on that one. I'm going to open the floor up to see if anybody has anything else. So wait a minute, upcoming events. Let me do that first. On the 4th, Waller County Republican Club on 4th Street, Joe's Italian Grill. Who's hosting that one? You know?
Alice Sudek is speaking there.
Oh,
Yeah,
So on the line, Alice?
yeah. So they actually called me the other day and said that they're going to have to postpone it. So I'm not going to be doing it on the 4th, but I will be holding. I'm setting up to hold like a meet and greet for COS on the 18th. So I'm just stay tuned for the Waller County one. But they called and they had something come up that they couldn't have me there.
okay.
That's good to know, because you were on my calendar. Okay.
On the 18th, Jerome Greener and Sam Poe will be back down in Seguin, speaking at it's the wing place that I was at last month, I guess it was. So I'll be there. Rebecca Broughton is the contact for that one. If anybody can make it down to that one, they've got good wings down there, so pretty good. Rebecca is online or not online here? I don't see her. Okay. And then on the 18th and 19th, looks like Conroe Gun and Knife Show. I am not going to another gun show. It costs me too much money. I keep buying stuff. I think that's what we have here. Okay, so let me open the floor up. Anybody want to discuss anything in particular? Have an item we want to bring up and discuss?
Yes, there's another event. Al, this is Joanne.
Yes.
I had arranged at, I guess yours and Erica's request, a subject matter expert to talk about and educate us on redistricting. I have located that person and they are scheduled to do a Zoom call with us on September 8th at 6:30.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make sure we post that out to everybody. So Zoom, September 8th at 18:30, subject matter expert on redistricting.
Yep,
You're gonna bring that up?
Lanny Pop.
Oh, Lanny, okay,
Yeah, Lanny.
okay. Wonder if we can schedule her later on sometime as well to talk about the importance of running for school board and positions like that.
I wouldn't see why she would object.
I'm sure. Anybody else? I see a couple of hands up. Edna?
Yeah, just a real quick question on the videos that we send to Rosa. Rosa, what time frame, like when do you need them by, and how long do we need to make the video within? How many
I'm
seconds?
currently, believe it or not, I'm actually typing it out as we're talking on Slack to give you really specific instructions. So
Okay,
thank you
good.
for asking that. So I'll put that on Slack.
Whereabouts on Slack?
It'll be in the general COS
Okay.
as Jamie
right.
requested. So I'll be sure to have that in there. But just it's going to be a little more detailed there. So with instructions on what to do with your smartphone and everything. So.
I'm thinking of having my flag behind me, you know, when I do it. It's for the military. So
yep, I'm actually going outside, taking my smartphone, and I'm going to be recording myself Americana style, talking to the troops. So you can use whatever setting you feel is appropriate. Try to not have it be too busy, because ultimately I want the troops to see your face. That I want them to hear you say thank you. So
it won't. Yeah, I've got a flag thing I made out of wood that hangs on my door. So I'll use that as a backdrop.
Okay, awesome.
All right, let me put this down here.
I don't see any other hands up. Anybody else? Otherwise we'll be able to.
You don't see any more hands up?
Oh, there you are. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, by the way, since everybody else put their pins up and everything, I have a paper, so I guess now I'm legal. There's the certificate. I'm legal now. Come on.
Yeah, so this coming Wednesday, for all regional captains and above, we have our second interview for governor. And so we are interviewing on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Dawn Huffines. So that's for regional captains and above. And then I got a decline from Governor Abbott. And then I still don't know how to get a hold of Chad Prather. So I'm still looking into that.
Is that this Wednesday, tomorrow night?
That's right.
Yeah.
At 6:30 p.m. That will be my Zoom, and I'll post it in the regional captains channel. And I see Susan's hand up too.
Go, Susan.
Got to figure out this mute and unmute. On September the 11th, we have a meeting in Tyler. And we're going to have a lady, well, actually, she's sending in a substitute. It's a man. And he's going to talk to us about the election machines that were used in the state of Texas and who was behind, who had the money behind them to develop them, and all the different names that they've changed to, and all the different hands that they've gone to, came back to, and all that. I've seen it twice now, but it's a great presentation. And on September 25th, Rosa is going to come and talk to us in Henderson at Hush Puppies Restaurant. And she's going to speak to us about her grandparents living in Cuba.
Thank you.
Really
That's
excited
interesting.
about that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have one more. So we got a request in Lubbock for a COS speaker. And so if I can't find anybody, I guess I'll do it. But I'll be looking for one. It'll be for the 21st of September.
21st, huh? I'm
I
sure.
might be able to do it. I'll have to look at my calendar because it's just a 2.5 hour drive for me.
Yeah, but I know you're busy, so don't worry about it. And then I saw somebody else that used to be an RC in that area. Do you know anybody, Edna?
Well, we have the lady that was at the our RC summit that I think she doesn't realize that she's an RC.
Oh, Cynthia.
She said, yeah, she said, I'm doing something, but I'm not sure what it is. And I didn't know until I got home and looked and I went, oh, for goodness sake, she took my 28th position, which is great. I'm happy. I want somebody else to do these RCs for me so I can do the RC team member, you know?
Yeah, so you can back them up.
Yeah, so I need to get in touch with her. But yeah, that's kind of.
Okay, thanks.
I don't think she knows.
Hey, we got a lot of people on tonight, 47. That's pretty good. Anybody else before we bail out early?
Well, did you talk about this past weekend?
We did a little bit. Would you like to add some
Good.
more? Because you didn't get words put in there.
Oh gosh, it was so overwhelming that I can't even remember. No, I got to look at my notes. I just was writing.
We got a lot of good ideas from the different.
We did.
Directors.
We got a lot of good ideas. In regards to the follow-up tool, Georgia has a blacklist that they put their folks on. So I don't want to get that far as creating a blacklist.
It's a naughty list. It's
a naughty list. That's it. The
Naughty
naughty
list.
list. Worse. Yeah, we learned about getting involved at the local level, understanding your elected officials and knowing their names. You should know everyone's name at the local level. You know, if you don't know the names of your school board or if you don't know the name of your sheriff, you know, folks, this is just, you know, if we wonder why we are where we are, it's because we are not taking interest. And we have to understand at the local level why or how that's when people from the radical left step into the game. And so we need to recognize them at the root, and that's at the local level. And that's why we are asking everyone to get involved, knowing who's stepping up, knowing who's in the city council, knowing who's in the school board, knowing who's a sheriff, or even the precinct chairs, knowing who they are, all parties, understanding it. Are they patriots? Are they not patriots? This is going to be so key. So we went through that. There's a lot more that's in my brain that I'm just going to have to slowly trickle down to you guys. But yeah, it was a good time, and I really look forward to our district captain meeting so that we can share.
Yeah, one of the things I'm looking at my notes again here real too, and we'll get these I think typed up and organized and spread them around a little more better. one of the things that Mark mentioned when he that first evening was that 8 of the 15 past states have worked on non-COS legislation. I think we're part of that group right there working on that. And he mentioned that keeping the mission in focus and take the organization to the next level, build more on the self-governance. And that was talking about what we mentioned earlier, which was making sure people are out there involved in local politics and in the school boards and everything else that we were talking about. Edna?
Well,
You froze.
down you're a legislator in Austin, but you sure can go watch your school board or your city council or your hospital, whatever is going on in your city or town or county. You know, they need to be knowing that we are watching them just as much as we need to let them know in Austin also know that we're watching them. So all elected officials need to know that they're being watched, is what I'm trying to say. And that starts from the local to all the way to the net.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we're talking about. You also mentioned something was on the grassroots level that everybody, you know, in the leadership positions need to be checking in on their team weekly, and even with some of the volunteers. So we'll be gearing up some stuff and some more groups on that, as well as what we believe we should be doing and helping to get everybody get done to make sure we're in touch with each other. Check, you know, like getting in touch with the DCs to make sure they're actively involved and reaching out to the volunteers that sign up and following on that. And we're going to be making sure also that the regional captains are involved in working more closely with the district captains. So there'll be some more words coming out on trying to get us all a little more cohesive in how we're reaching out to those grassroots and making us go forward. Jamie, you look like you wanted to say something else.
Good night, everybody. If you're registered, go to the DC and volunteer training call for national. They're always energetic and exciting. I know that's a lot. It makes Tuesday night a big long night for you, but thank you. We so appreciate each and every one of you and all that you are doing for Convention of States. So thanks.
That's a wrap.
Thank you, team. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
And